Previously on The Wild Yam. Well, here we are, home sweet home. Here's our campsite. We're just trying to find a spot right now. We're expecting a winter storm coming through tomorrow night. Freezing rain, snow, so we want to be more sheltered. I know a lot of people camp right against the water, but that's more of a summer situation. It's not something we want to be doing right now. There we go. Nothing like the old fire steel. Oh, this bacon's like done. Such a beautiful spot. We're just gonna have some lunch now and enjoy the view. That's really tiring. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but as I was setting up the tarp, my heart rate went very, very high. Started at about 280, now it's down to about 220. I'm not exerting myself. I've been resting for the last 45 minutes. My heart's still pounding. So as you can see here, I'm monitoring my vital signs here. It's kind of scary. I don't know why my heart rate is so high. So I'm drinking some water and I'm warming up. And I'm trying to decide whether we should evacuate. I can't keep up like this all night long. I don't know what's going on. I don't feel stressed. I mean, we did a lot of exertion. But, yeah, I've never had this happen to me before. So anyway, stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. It's about 50 minutes and rehydrated big time. I've had about a liter of water. And I had one of the Cliff energy shots because I think I overexerted myself, got depleted in calories and hydration, and ended up with a heart issue, which I will get checked out when I get back home. But this is my numbers now, so that's more normal. Scary as shit. Thankfully, my good friend Birch here was with me and talked me through everything, and we're rationalizing everything. I'm okay for now. I'm going to take it minute by minute, obviously, and we're going to make some supper. Because maybe I'm just low in calories, a bit dehydrated, and that's what the just exertion kind of triggered a stress response from my body. So now that I'm feeling a little bit better, the snow's really coming in. I'm glad we've got this sort of set up. 50-kilometer-hour gusts tonight. I don't know if you can hear me, but we're just getting ready. We're gonna have some supper. I've had some electrolytes, some water, and a little, like I said, a little bit of a glucose shot there just to kind of perk myself up. But we're battening down the hatches. Well, here's the view out of my tent this morning. It's Christmas out. Let's go take a look at the water. This is what the tents look like this morning. My tarp a little bit weighed down with a wet, heavy snow, so unfortunately got the little wires there got a little waterlogged, and so it's kind of on my tent there. I'm gonna have to get that off. Let's head down to the water and see what it looks like. Oh, this is beautiful. So this is a nor'easter that came through last night. Oh, the water's like glass. This is awesome. It's gonna be a good paddle back. We're gonna head out today. Oh, it looks like our tarp held up over the fire pit, so that's good. Covered in snow. Wow, just beautiful. Few little flurries left this morning. It's supposed to be very still for our paddle back, so really nice. Well, let's get some breakfast going. I'm really happy with this setup. So glad we got it going last night. It made a huge difference to keep the fire going. Again, the fire is just at the edge of the tarp, so the smoke went out. Covered all of our firewood, well, less those big birch logs, well, a few of them out there with the tarp. And some of the big birch logs are at the back. So we're gonna light it up. A nice breakfast fire. I'm pretty warm, I'm not cold. But you know what? I'm gonna dry out some of the gear. It is like soaking wet. I mean, I was dry in the tent. Birch was dry in her tent. All of our gear performed very, very well. And we were very smart about it when the weather came in. So good to have this extra tarp set up. a real lifesaver last night. That would have been a yucky night in that blowing storm to try to get warm and cook our dinner over the fire. I mean, we had backups, you know, like we had the rocket stove and I had my other little aluminum stove, but it's nice to have a real fire. What else? We got a fire going here for breakfast. Remove the tarp there because there's no wind. The lake is like glass right now. Look at that, guys. It's beautiful. So we're just letting this get going here. We're gonna get a nice bed of hot coals and make our breakfast. Probably the same as yesterday. Some oatmeal, eggs, bacon. I've got pancake mix, but I'm not highly motivated to make pancakes. But yeah, look at that view. That's $1 million view. This is why I come out and do winter camping. It is like a winter wonderland out here. It is so beautiful. Like I can't get over the scenery. Can't get over the scenery. I'm so happy to be out here, even though it's cold. It's +2 this morning. I was really, really warm in my tent last night. And you guys can see I'm wearing my Black Rock Gear hat. I've been wearing that this entire trip and I love it. It's 100% merino wool. And it's extremely light. You know, you can just scrunch it up into a little tiny ball to carry it around and put it in your pocket if you don't need it. It's got a big, thick band, double band here over the forehead and ears, so I can bring it right down when it gets cold. And it's also really good to have under other things, like, you know, if you have another hat, like another bright orange hat or something else you want to wear, it's excellent to have under here. And it breathes. You know, I really love natural fabrics out in the bush, and I've got, like, you know, wool socks on right now, my wool hat. So really awesome, really happy to have this in my gear arsenal. I'll put a link down below to their website where you can check out where to get this hat. They also have hats that have a little bit thicker insulation in them as well for winter camping. But you know, I found this hat to be pretty good. It's got down to about, you know, -1 or so, and this has really done a good job. So I'm really happy with it. Well, I bought overboots for my mucklucks because this is a very wet snow. It's going to make the leather really wet. So these are actually for snowshoeing, but it works really well, you know, for a little bit of snow. I've waterproofed the canvas, so that's okay. So these are super comfortable. I'm really glad I brought them. The Wild Venture tarp did well too. I'm just peeling it off of the tent now because it's laden with snow. But it did not allow my tent to get wet during that snowstorm last night. So that's great. So I'm just going to like hang it up for a bit. I mean, all my gear's going to be a bit damp, obviously. It's a bit of condensation because my fly is right up against my tent there. But anyway, yeah, all the gear performed very well. I'm going to show you sort of what I used to sleep in while I was here. So what I was sleeping in was my Teton sleeping bag, which was awesome. It has a little cord in here to cinch up around my neck, so when I was sleeping I could keep the heat in. I've got Velcro here as well to kind of tuck myself in, and a little pad for my head. I also brought with me this really nice sleeping bag I want to introduce you to. It's from Nature Hike. They have a store on Amazon, and what it is, it's a very small sleeping bag. It's usually for 5 to 15 degrees Celsius. And it's really nice. It's got like it's got white goose down actually inside here and in these little compartments. And again, it's got like a Velcro as well. And you tuck right in there. It fits an adult, yeah, 205 to 72 centimeters. So it's a bit of a snug fit, but it's really nice goose down sleeping bag. I usually use this for, you know, some summer camping that I've done. Or early fall. But you know what another awesome benefit of this bag is, aside from being like extremely small, like it's basically 570 grams. I'll show you it all bundled up, but I actually ended up using this as like a blanket over the Teton. So, you know, if my arm stuck out or whatever, at least I was under this goose down sleeping bag. It's by Nature Hike, and it's really nice. I'm going to fold it up for you. I'm packing up my stuff, but I want to show you how small both of these get. They're all packed up. You can see the Nature Hike goose down 3-season sleeping bag, probably more of a summer bag. It's really small, it's super light. It's like 570 grams, like I said. The Teton, on the other hand, like it's a big bag. But of course, this one is good down to -30, so that's the one I really had to use for this trip because it was quite cold and windy. But this trip I used the nature hike as actually just an over blanket for the Teton, or just if I was like hanging out in here during the daytime and it wasn't super cold, like I just wrap myself in that. So really interesting having the variability. I just love the size of this. I think I'm gonna keep this always, you know, in my summer pack. It's super light, you know, that way when we go camping next spring and summer too, I'll have another alternative compared to, I have another summer bag that's, you know, pretty big. It's almost as big as this Teton. It's the old school bag from Canadian Tire. I think it's Woods or something. So I think these two are gonna be my staples. This will be my summer and late spring, early fall. And this will be my late fall into early spring bag for now. Of course, I use the Therm-a-Rest Prolite Plus women's pad, and I really like this one. You know, it's got foam in it, so it inflates nicely. You can also manually inflate it here. I'm gonna deflate it now and roll it up, but it packs up really small as well. It's kind of a small footprint, so if you roll around in the night, you know, you roll off of it, then you're on the, you know, the cooler ground. But this did the job. The ground was quite cold, and I didn't feel it at all with this. And this will actually probably fit in my hammock when I do some more hammock camping, so I'm really happy with that. Again, I got this after my New Brunswick trip when my other mat failed. I took that one back and I got this one instead. This one actually I got from Mountain Equipment Co-op. Ordered it online, but it didn't arrive in time for my trip, and I had to go and get another one that I really didn't like. So anyway, this one is a winner. I'm going to keep it. And of course the RioRand tent. Oh boy, I can't say enough good things about this. It's like one of the cheapest winter tents you can buy, cost-wise, on Amazon. We got it last winter, and let me tell you, I love it. It did the job. It kept me really warm, and now you can hear all the snow melting off the trees onto the top of the tent. But yeah, if you're looking for a cheap 4-season winter tent, this one is on Amazon. I'll try to put a link down below to some of the stuff I talked about today. If you guys are interested in winter camping, late fall camping, some gear that actually works, and anyway, check it out. Well, the snow's starting back up again for our paddle back. It's so pretty. Look behind me. Beautiful flakes coming down. If you look up there, sun's trying to come out. The lake is still like glass, so this is going to be a really nice paddle back. I definitely needed that after yesterday's event, which I'll look into. But yeah, we're going to head out. Birch and I had a fabulous time. We're super happy with all the gear we brought. We were prepared for everything, and that's why I was not concerned about anything that could possibly happen out here. You know, we are 100% prepared. I'm sure there's always something you're going to forget, but if you think of all the things that could possibly happen in this scenario, you know, we faced it and we got through it because we were prepared. So whenever you go out into something like this, make sure you know your levels of, like your limits, you know, your weaknesses, your strengths, and don't forget to bring enough gear with you. I mean, I know there's a push on always to, you know, bring minimal amounts of gear and see what you can survive on. But, you know, this isn't a contest. Out here to have a good time, to feel comfortable, to feel safe. And that's what we did. So I'm really, really happy with how things turned out. Definitely do it again. Both of us would. We love it. We're both very into the outdoors. So we probably can't see it, but over in there's actually a beaver lodge, and I had gone for a little morning paddle in that area, and I could hear a bunch of like a cooing noise, like whoo, 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 back and forth. And I wonder if that was the beavers talking underneath, sort of up in their lodge there. So that's really cool. Any of you guys that know a lot about wild beavers, let me know if they do make some kind of weird cooing noise. We definitely saw them swimming on the lake this morning. Birch was out early and had her camera going, and there was a beaver and smacked its tail. So it is an active lodge, and I think they were calling back and forth. At first I thought it was some strange kind of a duck or something, but when I went right back there, nothing flew away, and then the cooing stopped as I got really close to the lodge. So it seems like that was what was going on. So how cool is that? I've never ever heard that before. I also saw a mink running along the shore, so that's pretty neat. I've seen blue jays, we've heard kingfishers. There's a loon that inhabits this lake, one solitary loon that you saw earlier in winter plumage, so that loon's going to be flying south very soon. There's a few kinglets. Chickadees obviously woke us up this morning. We had a couple of wolves howling on our trip, but never really saw anything. No tracks around. I mean, everything kind of hunkered down during the storm. On that note, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week as always, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.